Hello everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at Football Manager 2022, which I've been asked for several times. So I have played it and I've done some direct capture through my capture card, but I had quite a few requests for people asking for it to be shown in like handheld mode as well. So I figured I would respond to that request, if you like, and we'll be going through, just playing it, using it on the go and whatnot, and what you can do to get the best battery life out of it, at least from what I've played with anyway. So I'm going to unplug it, because obviously we don't get all of the wattage stuff up and about once we do that. So one of the things that I've done now, which you'll see in the raw footage as well, is I've set it to a maximum of 30 FPS. I don't really see why you need it more than that for a text-based game. You could potentially even drop it down to 15 as well, but then obviously you've got the 3D matches, so that's why I stuck with 30. I've also put it down to a TDP limit of 3 watts, so I don't know if that's for the CPU and GPU separately. We could declock, downclock the GPU. I'm not going to do that, and I'm also not going to do any scaling or anything, because I don't think that's necessarily needed. So what are we doing now? Well, those two numbers don't match up. One of them's correct, the other one's probably not. But I'll play a little bit through and I'll just show you sort of how it works. For those of you that are interested, I guess, I am playing as Newcastle, like I say, which you'll see coming up. Unfortunately, Benesa is out for a week. And Nianzu, who I bought, that's how you pronounce it, is unfortunately got himself sent off in the last game. So you'll have great fun seeing that. But yes, anyway, so I've changed it so that the right bumper, is left click. Only because sometimes it's a little bit hit and miss on the touchpad. And I'd say the only thing about the touchpad is it's the cursor carries on. So if you go, it carries on going rather than stopping. I imagine there's probably something in the acceleration that you can change, but I haven't had a go with that yet. Having said that, I've done probably like 2 matches on this so far on Football Manager. Won one, lost one. So not terrible, but not great either. But the thing that I really like about it is that the touchpad seems to work really well, which is one of the things that I didn't have when I was on my tablet, for example. It's a little bit difficult to get the click on the touchpad. That is my only gripe, really, and somehow there we go. But you can use the directional buttons to go through your inbox. Now, of course, loading times will be a bit slower because we've got it pegged in terms of the amount of wattage it can draw. But, you're looking at, I know it's not quite full 100% battery, but you're looking between 6.5 and 7 hours worth of gameplay in Football Manager. It doesn't seem to change as well when you're in the match, as you'll see. I was going to show you what one of the good things about it is. And I've got to wait for it to load. But yeah, some stuff feels maybe like a little bit cramped, but then I don't know if I'm just being pedantic or expecting too much really from it. Certainly would be better than the touch version. I think you can do A as well for left click. Yeah, it might take a little bit of playing around with the touchpad just to get it right, because I'd like to be able to just go and I've double clicked, but it doesn't always work. And of course, you're making a bit of a sacrifice as well by having it by having it down. So by having the wattage down, to extend the battery life. So one of the things that I ran into when I was doing this on my tablet was that when I would put my mouse over the drop downs, it wasn't coming up with the drop downs. It would you could only select them and that's it, which obviously is not very good. So it looks like It's the first instance, just because I'm at a proper play around with it now. It's almost like a soft click. It's like a soft hold, he says, as he can't replicate it now. Yeah, there we go. So maybe there's a little bit of a learning curve there. But in terms of performance, I mean, it's Football Manager at the end of the day. So it runs as you would expect. A bit washed out on the camera. Apologies, but it does look fine. You'll see that through the direct capture as well anyway. And everything's pretty consistent. I don't know what else. I don't really know what I can say in terms of, you know, being able to give you a bit more detail on this. It is pretty good. I could quite happily use this to play Football Manager on. I'm going away in a couple of months, and I was thinking about maybe playing Football Manager on my laptop, but, you know, why not play it on the Steam Deck? Because it seems to work perfectly fine. So I'll just show you what happens if we turn off all of the limiters. And in fact, it shouldn't actually make too much difference, but you'll see that number, which is here, is the one you want to look for. So that's it is also, of course, based on 91% battery rather than 100. But we do lose a little bit. Oh, it's gone back up again. But naturally, of course, it'll vary depending on loading times, games. Games don't seem to draw a heck of a lot more than just using it normally. There we go. Yeah, I don't know how keen I am with the clicking with the touchpad. Doesn't quite feel natural. I mean, maybe you could map a back button. If I was holding it, maybe a back button might be nicer to have as a click. But, you know, there's other niceties, like having the D-pad, for example, to flick through your news. That's also pretty good. And I also guess you could assign one of the back buttons to the space bar as well. Hadn't thought about that, but that might be a decent... Oh, A is the space key. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, there you go. Ignore me then. But obviously now it's running at 60 FPS, and the battery life is coming down a bit. But that will happen as you're loading, going through the days and what have you, and then come back up as you're just messing around, you know, sorting out your team, doing training, making transfer offers, contract offers, that sort of thing. I'll tell you what, it seems to have dropped quite a lot now, which I wasn't necessarily expecting it to have that much of an impact. That can't be right, surely. And you can probably now hear the fan when I'm speaking as well, I would have thought. So yeah, there you go. I think it's one of those where it just takes a little bit of getting used to. I probably should have played it for a little bit longer before making this video, just to show it off. But in terms of compatibility, perfectly fine, obviously. You can... The thing about the Steam Deck is maybe it's a console first, but it is also a PC. And you can, if anything is annoying enough, you can go out your way to change it. You know, like adding a shortcut. The fact that it's already got the space bar for the A button, that sort of stuff's really nice. I really like that. Just to allow it to run a bit easier. So yeah, let me know if you've got any questions on this. I'm more than happy to answer anything if I can on Football Manager. But yeah, certainly something that you can play on the Steam Deck, and looking at it as well, doing the options in under battery. So limit your TDP, drop your frame rate to 30. Probably dropping your frame rate to 30 is the biggest one, because otherwise you're running it at 60 FPS for being in menus. I wonder what happened if I drop it to 15. Let's have a see. I don't know how that feels. Oof. No, that feels crunchy. Although, having played Football Manager on decade-old laptops, I could probably deal with it, to be fair, if the battery life was sufficient to warrant it. What are we looking at? I don't think it's even going to get up to. Well, it might do. It does, honestly, it does take quite a bit of time to settle into getting the right figure, which is understandable. It's got to get used to what wattage is being drawn and all that sort of stuff. But just in the menu, I think we were hitting like, was it 6 hours 40-ish? Something like that. Yeah, it looks like if you're happy playing it at 50, I think it would be interesting to see what gameplay looks like this. I'm trying to find, what am I looking for? I want like matches. It's behind one of these though, isn't it? I think. Oh, schedule. Soft click. Soft click. No. I don't know why. I keep moving it over when I'm trying to do the click. Frustrating. Anyway, so if I go to the last, I probably won't do the last game. We'll do West Ham instead because we won that one. No, is that not how I get onto the highlights? There we go. Happy if I clicked on the right one. So we'll watch the goals. I think, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you want to run it at 15 FPS, obviously games, menus, all that sort of stuff's going to impact on it. Drawing a bit more now as we're loading. Yeah, it looks as bad in real life as it does on the screen. I'm not terribly keen on that. I think dropping below 30 is probably... There we go. 30 is much better. Dropping below 30 is probably a bridge too far in terms of trade-off. Now, if it could be set to 15 in the menus, or 15 in, the normal course of events, and then 30 during matches, you'd probably get the best hybrid there of both. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty good. You play this for a good long while. It's one of the things I'm pretty impressed about. Obviously, it's probably the best you can expect. Oh no, I think I started it again. So, yeah, there you have it. Hopefully that scratches your itch for Football Manager 22. As I say, let me know if there's anything more you want to see, if you want me to go into anything in more detail, but I think probably that should cover it for most people. Check out the footage at the end as well if you want to see some more, of course through direct capture rather than me videoing the screen. But yeah, that's all for now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.